Oh, hey, welcome all. So today we're going to do something again in the similar trend as we did on the last video with the Tomcats. If you haven't watched it yet, yeah, feel free to go to the bio and have a look through it. It was a fun one. When I got the request for the Mig-29, I really thought like, oh shit, Mig-29, which one should I pick for the video? And then I thought, why not show all the brands that I have? The only double brand right now is the Hobby Master, but we have Corgi today. Hobby Master, two of them. We have a Herpa, we have a, man, I'm bad with names today, Witty Wings, so Skyguardians, let's say. And then we have JC Wings, some loose parts already, but we'll get into that one later on. Yeah, and let's shoot again a fun little video about the differences between them, but also show the positives and the negatives of all of them. So I hope you will enjoy, and we'll go to the rest of the reviews. So first one we're going to start with the Mig-29 series is the Hobby Master. This is actually one of their first releases. Splinter camo, one of my favorites by the way. But let's talk first about like things that really distinct every Mig-29 from the rest. So on this model, rear brake is non-existent. Also rear flaps, they don't exist. As for plastic, there is some plastic in these. These are also very weak, the tail wings. Canopy is an openable part, which is nice. It can flap open and clicks underneath the front of the canopy. Pitot is a single assembly with the front of the plane. So this full part here is pitot. As for weapons and all the things that hang under it, it's actually super good. It clicks in very easy, has good details. No issues with panels or wheels to attach. That's something they're really good at with Hobby Master, we've noticed. Cannot say much bad about it. Also like little details. Antennas you get extra, by the way, you get double. Paint, very good. But that's something, on these models, at least the Russian ones, I'm always very happy. Or at least Eastern European models. It's always very detailed, very cool. Made a lot of versions. I have all of them upstairs, by the way. So I know my thing about them. Very well done. As it comes for stand, let's grab one of the later releases, Red 32. So everything stayed the same downtime. By the way, two different frames. So you're dealing here, this one is a SMT version. I believe this one is the 29A. I'm not 100% sure anymore. So antenna placement can be a little bit different. Most brands use the standard types, the 29As. I think all the frames that are going to be after this, they all are 29As or either later versions of the Mig-29, the most exported versions, let's say. So as stand, it's a part downside of it is with the stand, by the way, a big downside, at least it's metal, that's really cool, it's a positive. Downside is you need to remove your center fuel tank to get it in there. So a bit of a waste. On the Mig-23, Hobby Master did a better job. It sticks through the fuselage and through the tank and all that, and then you can run a tank with a canop with stand. So that's a bigger plus, but in general, not bad. As for weight, let's see what the differences are. I'm curious to see. So a standard Mig, an SMT at least, weighs 240 grams. And let's see what a Mig-29A weighs. 261 grams. So not so bad. So next one is a Witty Wings, or as some people say, Skyguardian. Malaysian Air Force, by the way. What I do remember, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this one, I believe it's the same mold as JC Wings has. Why do I think this? All these things are already pre-attached, luckily, but it all looks very close and very similar. Now, I'm not sure if it's correct, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, of course. I like that. Detail-wise, they're not bad. Just keep in mind that you cannot change anything on it. It is what it is as you get it. What is cool about it, like JC Wings also has, the parts that are actually movable, even little air brake parts are movable parts. They're not really straight, but they're movable. Weapons and all that, it's already pre-installed and glued in by the factory. So the model will stay as is. There's nothing you can change about it. Pilot also comes pre-installed. Packaging is very simple. But in general, to be funny, this is actually the cheapest version of Mig-29 that you can get. At least that I got. But it's not bad. It's just very, very, very basic. Let's see what one of these weighs. So Witty Wings weighs almost similar to the Hobby Master Mig-29A. So 235 grams, not bad. So next one is Corgi. Now unfortunately in my display stands right now I didn't have a Mig-29 from Corgi on its wheels. I only have this one and the Ukrainian one. I mainly like the DDR one because it's a bit around my time and age. Feels really heavy. We're gonna weigh it in a second. A very sturdy model. No weapons on this one, unfortunately, but I know that all these parts are removable. Corgi has a little stamp in the frame, which is a bit of a waste, but I get it. Everything fits really well though, but it's very basic and very simple. No movable air brakes, no movable rear flaps, but camouflage and paint and all that and detail to the pilot and the pitot are really nice. But stand-wise, it's a whole plastic item. It looks a bit like the one from the Heinkel. But also with the same with the Heinkel, these things snap off really easy. So they made a big ass hole in the fuselage. If you put it on the wheels, that big hole stays. There is a blind plug for it. I don't think I have it right now for the image, but in general, it's a fun little model. They didn't make many of them. I think they discontinued after like 4 or 5 planes that they made. I don't think it was such a hot seller for them. But yeah, let's see what it weighs, by the way. I'm very curious because it feels really heavy. As I thought. Actually, not so bad. 360. It feels super heavy for some reason, but it doesn't weigh as much. 334. So next one, and the only one that I have actually of this brand, or two actually, I have a 2-seater also. Yeah, this is Herpa. So I'm mainly known from airliners and also a lot of military, by the way. I'm not going to say only airliners, but mainly for airliners. Herpa, it looks really cool, by the way. They made a lot of German Mig-29s, but also some Russians. And this is a NATO scheme. At the end of the war, they had a lot of Mig-29As. Installation of parts was not easy. It was a nightmare, to be honest. This is a used model that I bought off somebody in Germany, actually. I think I paid like 20 or 10 euro. I don't even remember, but it was peanuts. As you can see, this previous owner has glued all the parts in, and he said to me the same. It was an absolute nightmare to put together. Not fun at all. But in general, they have actually movable parts. Air brake is movable. The antenna looks really nice. Pilot looks really well detailed. Paint, weapons, all that is quite okay. But for the price, I think they go around 90 euros. And new in the packaging, of course. It's quite hefty in price versus a Hobby Master. And of course, we'll have them all lined up in a sec after this video is ended. We'll do a final comparison, but in general, it's quite a price for a model of this caliber. As for weight, I believe it is very light. It feels very light, at least. It should not seat, so a lot lighter, around 100 grams lighter. So my guess is there's a lot less material in there. Does it have tipping chance? No, it's still weighted at the front, so that's really good. They all look the same, but they all have little details that make them a bit different. But for the price, I expected better. And last but not least, JC Wings. Now, I already showed in the last video, or at least told about in the last video, that I'm not happy with the quality of JC Wings. This Mig-29 proves it again. This fell off just by picking it up out of my cabinet. So all these parts need a little bit of white glue to get sticking, which is an absolute waste. But if you go for paint, details and all that stuff, this is really cool. So flaps are movable, air brake is movable, just like the Witty Wings one and the other one from, what was it again? Herpa. So Witty, Herpa, all have also moving parts. This one looks a lot like that. Also, all this stuff is hard to fit. Bombs all needed a slight modification. Bombs are very sensitive to put in there, and rockets. It's not the ideal model if you're a perfectionist. So paint-wise, very cool, but putting it together, it's a nightmare. Not gonna lie about that. As for the stand, it comes with us. This also goes, by the way, for the Witty and Herpa wings. I borrowed a Sukhoi stand for now, but they all go in the same way for stand-wise. So they all need a separate salt stand, except for the Witty Wings, I believe it comes with it. But for JC wings, at least, it's a loose salt part, which is a waste. Canopies often don't close correctly. This one has the same issue. It's also a lining issue. It's something that Hobby Master is a lot better in. But for paint and for weird schemes, they have some cool ones. That's also one of the reasons why I have some of the JC Wings. Mig-29s in general, I don't collect them. So I think we can conclude that it's the same mold probably as Herpa uses. It's actually almost the same weight. Give or take some parts that are currently not under it, but they're quite close to each other. But you get a cool collector's card. If you want to hold value to that. They don't make a lot of runs anyway, only 600 of this one. Yeah, but let's go to the final review. Yeah guys, so that was a bit of reviewing on the Mig-29. It was a spontaneous one. I saw the amount of interaction that the Tomcat review video gave, and I thought like, hey, one simple reply from somebody in the audience that said like, hey, why not the Mig-29? And then I thought like, when I was picking through the set, I was like, oh, there are actually a ton of brands that I have from the Mig-29. So I thought like, why not just show all of them, or at least all the brands that I have. I have from Hobby Master, I think I have all the Mig-29s actually in my collection. It's one of my personal favorite planes. I mainly collect Eastern European planes. But I really enjoyed just going through all these type of brands. So in this case then JC Wings, Witty Wings, Herpa Wings, Corgi, and then Hobby Master 2 here. Just to go over them and show you guys what I like about them, what I don't like. Now of course, if you guys would ask me like, where would you put your money on? It's again hard to say. So if I would go for quality, schemes, and really cool painting and parts, I would go for Hobby Master. Why Hobby Master? They do a ton of releases. They really listen to their customers, what they want. So really interesting Russian planes, Cuban planes, Ukrainian planes, you name it, but a bit more what currently is playing on the battlefields. After that, although a lot of issues, JC Wings. Why? Paintwork is really cool, boxes or arts are really cool. Downside, stand and parts, you need to be a very patient man or woman to put this thing together. If you would go for budget, try out Witty Wings. Although not released anymore, they are fun planes. It's very simple. They come out of the box like this. You just buy a stand. I don't remember if the stand is in the box, but worst case you buy one and you have a fun little model. I have a couple of countries from this brand, North Korea and so on, some weird ones. Really cool. What I would not put my money on, and luckily Herpa quit this one already a long time ago. Mig-29 from Herpa, it's not worth it. It's quite similar to these two, JC Wings, and it's fun with all these brands here together. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But all these three together, they're quite similar. So if you have to pay a hefty penny for this, then I would rather go for JC Wings in that case. But in general, not bad. And then of course, Corgi. Unfortunately, they stopped the Mig-29. They don't produce many modern jets anymore. but also something I would consider putting in my collection if there were more of them. Very simplistic, very nice made, well fitted. So in general, not bad. Very happy with this review so far. Yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what you want to see next. These are just a couple of my Mig-29s. I'll also see if I can add a little tour of all the Mig-29s that are in my cabinet after this. And so some of the Mig-29s I'm just going to showcase to you guys quickly. So mainly a lot of Hobby Master and a little bit of the back there, Witty Wings. I'm focused on my finger. So Witty Wings. JC Wings. JC Wings, Witty Wings, Witty Wings, and here also one from Witty Wings. The rest is all Hobby Master, which are actually my favorite, as you can see. Then one more Witty Wings, Mig-29 from North Korea, and then a lot of MiGs. And here the two are from JC Wings, and then one from Herpa, a twin-seater, UB. And then again, a lot of Hobby Master ones, 29As and SMTs, modern, old school. I thank you all. Have a great day or rest of your evening. And thank you.